Hey, if you're watching this video, you're probably thinking of trying Xpressio, which is by far the best thing you can do for your business. You see, in just a few words, Xpressio is an all-in-one platform to plan out and manage your events in a streamlined way, keeping you organized, saving you time and stress throughout the planning process. Everything under one umbrella. With that being said, let's dive in. I'll show you exactly what it's all about. Intro. Okay, with that being said, let's dive right in and show you exactly how to use Xpressio. So as you can see on my screen, this is what the platform actually looks like when you first log in or sign up. This is what you see. This is the main dashboard. You can see events, my contacts, workspace, CRM is coming soon, so we're not going to talk about that. Of course, you can also give us feedback, get $50, and request a new feature. We're always open to suggestions. You can suggest a new feature, and if we see that's something that multiple clients have been asking for, we just go ahead and create that feature. For example, floor plans. A lot of our clients have asked for a floor plan and sitting charts feature. So that's something that we're working on right now along with the CRM option. So let's talk about some of the features that we have in here. Workspaces, we'll touch that on the end. My contact is pretty self-explanatory. It's basically a one place for all your contacts, clients, venues, and vendors. So instead of creating them separately and adding them to every single event separately, you can just have this phone book on steroids, keep them all in under one place, and use them for multiple events if you want. So for example, I have a venue that I'm using multiple times. I can go to venues. I can either import from a CSV file. So if you're using a different platform, you can export your venue list from that platform and import to Xpressio. Takes like 5 seconds and you have your entire database ready to go. Or I can just, of course, you can export as well. Or I can just add them manually. Add venue, put in the venue name, contact information, website, address, additional notes. I can upload a floor plan to have that in mind. I can put in a display name. I can go to vendors. With vendors, you can do pretty much the same thing, but you can choose a vendor type as well. We have so many different types in here. And of course, you can create a new one, as many types as you want. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory, very easy to understand. That is what the contacts feature actually looks like. Now let's dive into the real thing, events. Let me show you how to do that. And just to show you how simple and easy it really is, instead of diving into an existing event, let's just create a new one from scratch. So I'm going to click create event right here. The first thing it's going to ask me is, do I want to use a previous event as a template to this event, or I can choose one of the pre-made templates that we have ready to go on Xpressio for this event. Usually what we recommend on doing is starting with a pre-made template, and then you can customize it however you want and save that one as a new template. That's how you can create your own templates without doing all the work. So let's go with choose a template. For example, as you can see, we have so many different ones in here, everything from weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, social events, corporate events, other, you can create your own templates and pretty much whatever you want with it. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Let's go with weddings. Let's go with the bride and groom wedding. Click next, and now we can give some information about this event to the software. So the first thing, we're going to populate the groom and bride name. When you click the groom name, it will automatically populate the client list that you have under my contacts. You can just easily choose one, or you can create a new one. Now the cool thing here is when you create a new client, it's not only going to assign them to this specific event, it will automatically save them as well under my contacts. So the more events you're building your database as well. So let's say John, for example. Now I can put in their email, phone number, more details, only the stuff I want, only the name is actually necessary. So I can choose John. And as you can see, when I click bride name, I will automatically see John as well. So it updates in real time, and you're constantly building your database. For the bride name, let's go with Sarah. So now we can choose the event name. Let's say John and Sarah's wedding. We can choose an event date, let's say October 1st, for example. We can upload an event image if we want, that's not mandatory. Click next, and now we can start populating the event team right here. Now, don't worry if you still don't have the final event team. You can always come back to the screen and make any changes that you want. So let's start off with venue. Let's go with, again, when I click venue, I will automatically see all the venues that I've saved under my contacts. So you can easily choose one of them or just create a new one that does the exact same thing like before. assign this venue to this specific event, as well as automatically save it under venues, under my contacts for any future reference. For now, let's just choose the gathering, for example. We can attach multiple venues and multiple vendors. So now let's start working on vendors. As you can see, we sort it by type of vendor, so you can create additional ones. But when you click on vendors, you will automatically see the vendors under this specific type. So let's say Rob's Bakery, let's say Eddie's Catering, let's do ceremony music and cocktail music, and just you can just populate everything in here. We're not going to do it right now because I don't want to make this video too long. So yeah, we're going to build our event day team. Then we can click next, review all the information, make any changes if we want by clicking edit. And if it looks good, we can just go ahead and click submit like I just did. And now instead of creating the entire event from scratch, we will automatically generate the event and upload the templates, so you can just go ahead and make the changes that you want instead of creating everything from scratch. So pretty powerful, probably like 10 to 15 seconds. Boom. As you can see, we already have that event ready to go. This will automatically take me to the event dashboard, which looks like this. As you can see, we have multiple planning features in the event. And let's just go one by one and explain, give you an overview about every single one of them. I'm not going to dive in too deep because we have a lot of small features and I don't want to make this a 40-minute video. It's, as you can see, the software is very, very simple to understand, very streamlined, so you can kind of like even teach yourself how to use it in a few minutes of using it. So the first one is event summary. I can find some basic information, the event budget, venues and vendors if I want to make any changes to that. And of course, I can create new sections, either a file section, a list section, or both. So for example, if I want to create a vision board, I can just do files. I can name it vision board, click update, and now I can upload as many things that I want in here. I can create photos and videos. If I want to do a link list as well, I can do just both and then just create a link list and and files as well. So you can do it together. Very comprehensive, very easy to understand as well. Let's go over the timeline. As you can see, the timeline is very comprehensive. You have the basic template in here and everything is super customizable. So let's say I want to make some changes. I can either drag and drop and this will automatically make the necessary changes, or I can just click one of the items and make any changes I want here in here. So let's say rental item delivery. Let's say I want this to say by David, for example, and I want to make this in bold, and I want to change the background color, just an example, or the font color as well. I can assign it to a specific vendor. I'll show you why you can do that in just a second. I can assign, I can change the date, the time, the description. When I click update, it will automatically update in here. So you can make it some changes to a specific task, or you can do it for multiple tasks as well. And this is really powerful as well, because if, for example, something came up and you want to push back the entire event by 5 minutes, instead of going item by item and changing them, you can just use the check all box, click edit time, select units, minutes, choose 5, click update, and look at the time. In 2 seconds, the entire event gets pushed back 5 minutes into the future. Pretty awesome, right? Now, one more thing that I wanted to show you is why I can assign a specific vendor to a specific task. So let's just assign a specific one. Let's do Rob's Bakery. And as you can see, the timeline task changes as well when you assign it to a specific vendor. So let's say it says person, I can do Rob, update, everything, automatically updates. So they are assigned to this event. Now, the reason I can assign specific vendors to specific items is because obviously after you finish working on the timeline, you want to run it by your vendors or the venue or the client, and you can easily do that. You can just click on options, either preview as PDF, download as PDF, or send email as PDF. So for example, I want to send it to someone, I can just click send email, put in their email, and they get this entire thing in a PDF, in a branded PDF format with your name, your logo on it, and the entire timeline. But sometimes I want to send it to a specific vendor and I don't want to send them the entire timeline. I only want to send them their specific timeline. So you can literally go to roles and this will automatically create a dedicated timeline per vendor. And now I can, for example, I want to send Rob their timeline. I can just click this PDF file. This will automatically populate their email address and you can send it 2 seconds. They only get their own timeline. Okay, so this is in a few words about the timeline. Now let's go over budgets. Let's do so the first thing it's going to ask you is what is the total event budget. Let's say, for example, $100,000. I can click add. I can do both income and expenses, and then I can see the overview with profit and everything. But for now we're doing a wedding, so let's focus on the expenses part. Of course, you can always change the budget if you want, but let's go ahead and start creating the budget by adding some categories and items. So let's say drinks as a new category. Let's allocate 15K to drinks. Let's do venue expenses at 20,000. Let's do vendors at 25,000, just throwing random numbers in here, of course. And as you can see, I started to create some categories. Now to calculate the budget automatically, we can start populating these categories with items. So for example, we can click add expense. Let's say I want to do cocktails as a new item under drinks, and now I can put in the price for cocktails either per unit or for the entire event. So if it's 1,500 for the entire event, we can just do 1,500 per event. Or if it's a united item, you can do just per unit. Let's say $12 a pop, and number of units 149, for example. This will automatically make the calculation, and when you click add, this will automatically calculate the total category progress bar along with the total event progress bar. Pretty cool, right? So you see you have more clarity on where's money's going, where you can spend more or less. And of course, you can export this entire budget or send it as PDF, like everything in this software. So this is about budget. Let's talk about checklist, a very comprehensive way of doing a checklist. This is really powerful. As you can see, we have this checklist, and I can start adding tasks. Let's say, for example, I want to book a venue. I can choose a due date. I can choose a reminder date. This is not mandatory, only if you want, but that's very powerful because the reminder date feature works that way, that if it will only remind you to do this task if you still haven't marked it as done before the reminder date. So when you have a lot of events and a lot of checklists in here, this will always remind you to do stuff that you need to do for specific events. So pretty awesome as well. Let's do it. I want to do it 1 week ahead. So I want to get this done by August 21st. I want to be reminded August 14th, 9:30 a.m. We can choose a status. Let's go with to do. Select priority. Let's go with high. We can select tags, which will later on we can filter the entire checklist based on these tags. So this again gives you more clarity, which is pretty cool. So let's say venue. I click enter. This will automatically create this new tag. Perfect. And now, as you can see, I have that task ready to go on the checklist, and every change that I will make to this task will automatically update inside of the checklist. So if I change the status from to do to in progress, it will automatically populate. If you're more of a visual person, you can go to the board view and kind of like doing some, drag and drop. We have this drag and drop feature, which is pretty cool as well, or you can click the plus sign to create a new task. Of course, this is how you keep track of your checklist, and if you click done, dopamine rush. We have finished another task for this event. So this is in a few words about the checklist. Let me move myself in here to show you the event contacts. Event contacts is pretty much the same as my contacts, but only the people that are assigned to this specific event. So you can see clients, venues, vendors, and guest lists. With the guest list, again, you can add guests manually and enter how many seats, party names, RSVPs, select meals, stuff like that. Or you can just import them from a CSV file and have this entire guest list ready to go in here. So I'm not going to talk about too much about the event contacts because it's pretty straightforward. Let's just jump right into events workspace. And this is huge because sometimes you don't want to just send PDFs to everyone. Sometimes you want to create sub-users for your team, give them access to this specific software so they can sign up with their own login credentials and work together with you on this event with different permissions. What exactly do I mean by that? Let's say I have a team member that I want to create access to. I can just click add team members. I can either choose from the list that you have, or I can add a new team member. I can put in their name, last name, email, phone number, everything I want. As soon as I create this sub-user, they will automatically get an email from you with their login credentials and a link to sign into the platform. And of course, you can grant them with specific permissions. So if, for example, I'm creating, let's say, a sub user for a client, and I want them to be able to see everything except for the checklist. Let's say because the checklist is internal. So I'm gonna create access to everything except for the checklist. They're not gonna they're not gonna even see the checklist in here. So it's gonna be summary, timeline, budget, contacts. Now for the features I created access to, I can select what kind of permission I want to set for these people. So let's say, for example, event summary, I want to give them admin permission. They can do whatever they want. The timeline, they can only view. The budget, we can do edit with approval, so they can make as many changes as they want, but it will not actually make the changes until you, the admin, actually approves them, either approve or decline. And in the timeline itself, or the budget, wherever it is, you're going to see who made the change and what kind of change they wanted to make, and then you can decide either to accept or decline. Again, when I click update, everything automatically happens. Now let me show you, this is just an overview of the system. Let me show you in a few seconds what it actually looks like for a ready to go event. Okay, so this is Elizabeth and Richard's wedding. Let me show you what it actually looks like. So even in the event summary, you can create, as you know, as many sections as you want. So I can see the basic information in here. I can go to venues and vendors and see the entire list. I can go to the vision board and see the entire thing. I can go to contracts. I can go see the floor plan, the client music, some lists that I want to have in here. Basically all the information that I need. Timeline, I can see the entire timeline, and this would be a great example. As you can see, someone made this change, and now me as the admin, I can choose if I want to view the changes that they made, either approve or decline it. Of course, a ready-to-go timeline in a PDF format, this is what it actually looks like. Keep in mind that it's going to show your logo in here. Actually, you can rebrand this entire software into showing your logo if you want to create, access to your clients and stuff. You can just go to your profile, click on your name, edit profile, and go to company logo. You can change it to whatever kind of logo you want, and then boom, you click update, and when the clients log in, they see your logo in here, which is huge as well. So let's go over. You can see the budget as well of a ready to go event. We can go to expenses. As you can see, everything in here is ready to go. We have multiple categories, multiple items, and that's how we really calculate the budget. We can go to the checklists, and you can see a full stack of a checklist with different tasks and different tags and whatever you want. Of course, I can click filter by tag, choose the tag, for example, stuff that has something to do with venue, and now I will only see the stuff that has the venue tag in them. So yeah, this is in just a few words, Xpressio. This is what the platform actually does. If you like it, you can give it a shot absolutely for free. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to commit to anything. You can try it out yourself. You can click the link below this video to set up your own free account. You have a 2-week free trial where you have unlimited access to all of the features and unlimited events. So you can kind of like try it out yourself, see how simple it is and how much time it's going to save you, how it's going to streamline things for you. There's plenty of stuff that I didn't have the time on showing you here, but as you can see, the platform is super, super easy to understand and very simple to work with. So you can literally figure it out by yourself by playing around with it for a few minutes. So go ahead and sign up right now. Let us know if you have any questions. Let us know if you have any more features you want us to create, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you for watching. You have a great rest of the day.